There are 8 almond milk brands in Australia that create a toxic combination for your health goals, your wallet, and your gut. And most people pour them over their so-called healthy muesli without having a clue what is actually in the carton. Stay with me to the end, because I will show you the handful of Australian almond milks and one dead simple do-it-yourself trick that actually give you almonds, not almond-flavoured chemistry set. We have been told almond milk is the clean, light, gut-friendly alternative to dairy, vegan, plant-based, heart-healthy. But here is the part nobody talks about. Most supermarket almond milks in Australia are about 96 to 98% water plus fillers, as sugary as soft drink in some flavoured versions, spiked with cheap vegetable oils, gums and controversial thickeners like carrageenan, and contain as little as 2 to 2.5% actual almonds, roughly 1 almond per 100 millilitres. Food regulators such as Food Standards, Australia, New Zealand state that these approved additives, including carrageenan, are considered safe at typical intake levels. However, many nutrition-focused writers and dietitians point out that what you are really buying, in most cases, is ultra-processed almond-flavoured drink, not the liquid nuts people assume they are paying for. So when I say toxic in this video, I'm talking about a toxic combination. Tiny amounts of nuts, lots of sugar, seed oils and gums that quietly sabotages the whole reason you switched to almond milk in the first place. Let us start with the one that dominates Australian shelves. Number 1, Almond Breeze Original, 2.5% almonds, and a whole lot of junk. Almond Breeze is everywhere, in Coles, Woolworths, cafes and health food aisles. The branding is all blue skies and Californian vibes. Made from almonds, dairy-free, lactose-free. Now read the fine print for the Australian original long-life recipe. The ingredients include filtered water, ground whole almonds at 2.5%, acidity regulators, vegetable oil, corn maltodextrin, which is a refined starch, several stabilizers including carrageenan, locust bean gum, sodium alginate and guar gum, salt, an emulsifier such as lecithin, and natural flavor. So in a supposed healthy nut milk, you have 97.5% non-almond content, added oil, refined starch, multiple gums, and natural flavor to fake more nuttiness than 2.5% almonds can realistically provide. Carrageenan in particular is controversial. Some studies and reviews show it passes through harmlessly in the amounts used in foods, and regulators in Australia, New Zealand, and the United States still classify it as safe and allow it in many products. However, the European Union does not allow carrageenan in infant formula, and some researchers and clinicians worry about certain forms of carrageenan contributing to gut irritation in susceptible people, especially in high doses or in experimental settings. So why is this a problem? Because you probably chose almond milk to avoid processed oils, strange thickeners, and ultra-processed dairy. Yet Almond Breeze Original gives you all 3, plus barely any nuts. The carton suggests smooth, creamy almond milk. What it really means is almond-flavoured water bulked with oil, gums and starch, so it behaves like milk in a coffee machine. If you have been buying this thinking it is the clean almond option, wait until you see what happens when we add sugar on top. Number 2, So Good Almond Milk Original, almond-flavoured sweet drink. So Good Almond Milk Original is a sanitarium product sitting in the health section. Trusted brand, big So Good tick, pictures of almonds. But here is the actual ingredients list. Filtered water, cane sugar, ground almonds at 2.5%, a calcium mineral source, sunflower lecithin as an emulsifier, natural flavor, salt, sodium bicarbonate as a mineral salt, a vegetable gum called gellan, antioxidant ascorbic acid, and added vitamins B12, B2 and B1. So Good's own nutrition information shows that per standard 250 milliliter serve you get 8.6 grams of sugar, which works out to 3.4 grams of sugar per 100 milliliters. By comparison, many soft drinks sit around 10 to 11 grams of sugar per 100 milliliters, so this is not quite as extreme. But it still clearly lives in sweet drink territory if you pour large glasses or use it multiple times a day. Per 250 milliliter glass, you are taking in nearly 2 teaspoons of added sugar built on just 2.5% almonds. So what are you actually drinking? Mostly water and cane sugar, a token amount of nuts, gums and flavor to give it a creamy feel, and fortified calcium and B vitamins to make it sound virtuous. The carton sells you plant power, calcium and vitamins. In practice, it is a sweet dessert-like drink with a sprinkle of nuts dressed up as breakfast. If you switched from flavoured dairy milk to So Good almond thinking you had dodged the sugar bullet, this combination is exactly what I mean by toxic for your goals. And if you think supermarket home brands are automatically better, number 3 might sting. Number 3, Woolworths. Almond milk, budget price, budget almonds, bonus fillers. The Woolworths' own brand, almond milk, 1 litre carton looks like the smart option. Plain design, cheaper than the big brands, sounds simple. The ingredients are water, almonds at 2.5%, maltodextrin from corn, sugar, natural vanilla flavor, calcium carbonate as a mineral salt, stabilizers numbers 418 and 415, which are gellan gum and xanthan gum, salt, and sunflower lecithin as a vegetable emulsifier. So again, you have only 2.5% almonds, bulked with maltodextrin, which is a high glycemic index starch, extra sugar, 2 gums, and natural flavor to fake a richer taste. From a sensory point of view, it pours thick and smooth thanks to the gums. It tastes sweeter and more like a vanilla dessert than truly nutty, and it is designed to feel indulgent, even though there is hardly any actual almond. The label suggests great value almond milk. But when 97.5% of what is in the carton is not nuts, many shoppers feel that calling this almond milk is stretching the friendship. If you are going cheap, at least know you are mostly paying for water, starch, sugar, and texture agents, not the almonds pictured on the front, and Coles is not much better. Number 4 shows you what happens when you remove the sugar but keep the tricks. Number 4, Coles almond milk. Unsweetened but still mostly water and gums. Coles almond milk. Unsweetened looks clean on paper. Unsweetened across the front, simple branding, and it feels like the safe pick if you are trying to avoid sugar. A typical ingredients list for the Coles unsweetened almond milk shows water, ground almonds at about 2.5%, tapioca starch, natural flavor, calcium carbonate, sunflower lecithin as an emulsifier, salt, and vegetable gums such as gellan gum and xanthan gum. So yes, there is no added sugar, which is good, but you are still drinking 97.5% not almonds. Starch to bulk it, 2 gums to keep it thick, and natural flavor so it tastes more like almonds than 2.5% nuts can deliver on their own. So why is this a problem? Because a lot of Australians think unsweetened almond milk means mostly almonds and water. In reality, here it means a tiny bit of almond plus a whole lot of industrial help to impersonate real nut milk. On the front it says unsweetened and better choice. Underneath it is a very processed drink with token nuts, less squeezed almonds and more nut-themed beverage. If this is your go-to in smoothies and coffee, you deserve to know how little real nut you are actually getting. And if you are thinking, fine, I will just go for the famous international brand's unsweetened version instead. Number 5 is where a controversial additive slips in. Number 5, Almond Breeze unsweetened. Low almonds plus carrageenan. Almond Breeze unsweetened. Long Life 1 litre is marketed as the clean, sugar-free alternative in the range. An Australian and New Zealand ingredient listing shows filtered water, ground whole almonds at about 2 to 2.5%, calcium carbonate, tapioca starch, salt, carrageenan as a stabilizer, lecithin as an emulsifier, and natural flavor. Notice two things. The almond content actually drops to around 2% in some unsweetened variants, and the product leans harder on starch, gums, and flavor to make it palatable. Carrageenan is the big red flag for a lot of health-conscious Australians. It is a seaweed-derived thickener that helps products feel creamy, and regulators such as Food Standards Australia, New Zealand, and the United States Food and Drug Administration currently classify it as safe and allow it in foods. However, some animal and laboratory studies have linked certain forms of carrageenan to gut inflammation, and the European Union bans it from infant formula as a precaution, even though it remains allowed in many other foods. So in this carton, you have very low almond content, a controversial gum to fix the mouthfeel, starch to pad the texture, and natural flavor to punch up the taste. If you are sensitive, already have gut issues, or you are trying to avoid ultra-processed additives, this combination worries a lot of people. The carton suggests unsweetened and simple. The ingredient list says highly engineered nut-flavored drink that leans heavily on carrageenan and starch, because 2% almonds on their own would not cut it. And if that is what passes for clean, wait until you see what they do to make almond milk behave like full cream in a cafe. Number 6. Vitasoy Barista Almond. Sugar, oil and gums for latte art cafes love Vitasoy Barista almond milk. It froths, it stretches, it pours latte art. But how do you make a low-protein nut drink behave like real milk under steam? You add things. Vitasoy Barista almond ingredients in Australia include filtered water, almonds at a minimum of 3.2%, raw sugar, good maltodextrin, sunflower oil, gum arabic, acidity regulators such as potassium phosphate and sodium bicarbonate, calcium phosphate, sunflower lecithin as an emulsifier, sea salt, and gellan gum. So this barista blend gives you higher almond content than the cheap long-life milks, which is good, but it also gives you added sugar, refined starch, seed oil, and 2 different gums. From your liver and waistlines perspective, that is a toxic combination. Fast carbohydrates from sugar and maltodextrin, extra processed fat from sunflower oil, and practically no protein to speak of. The pitch to cafes is that it behaves like dairy. The reality in the cup is a sweet, oily, ultra-processed beverage with enough structure to make foam, but not enough nutrition to qualify as health food. If you are paying high prices for an almond flat white because you think it is automatically better for you than dairy, this ingredient list raises serious questions, and yet Vitasoy is not even the worst offender in barista land. Number 7 takes it further. Number 7. Milklab Barista Almond Milk. When your almond milk needs canola oil, Milklab Almond is everywhere in specialty cafes. The marketing brags about being barista standard, made with Australian almonds, crafted for coffee. The ingredient list is where the magic and the problem lives. Filtered water, Australian almonds at 3.5%, sugar, vegetable oil, which is canola or sunflower, maltodextrin from corn, mineral salts such as potassium citrate and dipotassium phosphate, a calcium mineral, vegetable gums including gellan, xanthan and locust bean, sunflower lecithin as an emulsifier, and salt. So in one carton you have more almonds than the supermarket budget brands, which is good. But you also have added sugar, industrial seed oils, refined starch, and a 3-gum blend. If your whole reason for avoiding dairy was to get away from processed fats, this is where a lot of people feel tricked. The texture is creamy and rich because oil and gums emulate the mouthfeel of full cream milk, and sugar plus maltodextrin help browning and taste in coffee. It is clever food engineering, but it also turns your so-called healthy almond latte into something much closer to a sweetened, oil-fortified drink. The carton whispers to baristas, perfect microfoam and easy to work with. Your health goals here: sugar, seed oil, starch and gums with a side of almonds. And if you thought paying extra for the imported premium brand would save you from this pattern, number 8 might hurt. Number 8, Califia Farms Barista Blend Almond. Premium price, familiar problems. Califia Farms Barista Blend Almond. Milk shows up in high-end cafes and specialty grocers. Slim bottles, minimalist design, plant-based, gluten-free, made from real almonds. Ingredients for the barista blend typically include water, almonds, pure cane sugar, sunflower lecithin, calcium carbonate, potassium citrate, sea salt, natural flavors, gellan gum and locust bean gum. So once again, to make it barista grade, you add sugar, gums, emulsifiers and flavorings while keeping the almond percentage modest. Does it taste nice in a flat white? Yes. Is it radically different nutritionally from the other barista milks we have just covered? Not really. If you are drinking multiple cups a day made with this, you are quietly taking in extra sugar, ultra-processed gums, virtually no protein or fiber, and not nearly as many almonds as the brand storytelling suggests. On the carton it says made from real almonds and crafted for coffee. In practice, it is a designer almond-flavored drink with the same pattern, low nuts, added sugar, plus gums to fake a creamy texture. The pattern, it is not one bad brand. It is a broken category. Look across all 8 of these almond milks. Almond Breeze. Original 2.5% almonds, vegetable oil, corn, maltodextrin, and multiple gums including carrageenan. Almond Breeze. Unsweetened. Around 2% almonds, tapioca starch, carrageenan and natural flavor. So good almond original. 2.5% almonds with added cane sugar at about 3.4 grams per 100 milliliters. Woolworths almond milk, 2.5% almonds, maltodextrin, sugar and gums. Coles almond, unsweetened, about 2.5% almonds, starch, 2 gums and flavor. Vitasoy Barista almond, 3.2% almonds, raw sugar, maltodextrin, sunflower oil and gums. Milklab almond, 3.5% almonds, sugar, canola or sunflower oil, maltodextrin and 3 gums. Califia Barista. Almond, almonds, sugar, 2 gums and flavors. Common threads: low almond content, usually between 2 and 3.5%, with only a few slightly higher exceptions. Added sugars in many variants, sometimes bringing the sugar content into the same range as other sweet drinks if you drink large servings. Seed oils in barista blends. Canola or sunflower oils used to imitate dairy creaminess. Gums and thickeners such as gellan, xanthan, locust bean and carrageenan to fix the mouthfeel. Natural flavors because 2 to 3% nuts are not enough to make it taste like real almond milk. Meanwhile, there are almond milks on the same Australian shelves that quietly prove this does not have to be the case. Pure Harvest, for example, sells organic almond milks made from around 7 to 10% activated organic almonds, filtered water, a little organic rice syrup and sea salt with no added oils, no gums, no emulsifiers, and no artificial flavors. Macro-organic almond milk. Unsweetened lists filtered water, 5% organic almonds, organic brown rice, calcium carbonate, sea salt, and natural flavoring, again with no added cane sugar and no gums. Macro-organic almond milk in the sweetened variant uses about 4% organic almonds, organic rice syrup, organic sugar, and organic sunflower oil, still with a much higher nut content than the 2% category norm. Vitasoy unsweetened almond proudly uses filtered water, whole almonds at a minimum of 3.8%, calcium phosphate, sunflower lecithin, sea salt, natural flavor, and 1 gum called gellan with no added sugar or oil. These brands are not perfect for everyone, but they prove a crucial point. The almond milk category does not have to be 2% nuts plus sugar, oil, and gums. Australian food culture has drifted from eating actual nuts and drinking actual milk to sipping ultra-processed, almond-flavoured water that lets companies charge you as if you are buying almonds while they quietly sell you additives. So what do you do if you want to be plant-based without being played? Now let us talk about the Australian options that are actually worth your time. You do not have to give up almond milk. You just have to change which cartons you reward and how often you reach for them. Step 1. Choose higher almond, lower additive brands. Look for almond content of at least 4 to 5%, no added oils, no added sugar unless you deliberately want a sweet version, and minimal or no gums. Examples available in Australia include Pure Harvest Organic Almond Original and Unsweetened, with about 7 to 10% activated almonds, water, a small organic rice component, and salt, with no oils or gums. Macro Organic Almond Milk, Unsweetened, with 5% organic almonds, filtered water, organic brown rice, calcium and sea salt, again without added cane sugar or gums. Vitasoy Unsweetened Almond, with 3.8% whole Australian almonds, water, calcium, sunflower lecithin, sea salt, natural flavour, and 1 gum, but no sugar or oil. These are not sponsored picks. They are just the labels that read most like actual food, not a science project. Step 2. Stop thinking of almond milk as a protein drink. Most almond milks, even the better ones, have almost no protein per 100 milliliters. If you want protein and calcium, that comes from foods like Greek yogurt, eggs, and other whole foods. If you just want a creamy white liquid for coffee, oats, or smoothies, then a cleaner almond milk is fine as a beverage, not as a meal. Do not let a vitamin panel on the side of a carton convince you that it replaces a proper breakfast. Step 3. Treat barista blends as treats, not staples. Vitasoy Barista, Milklab and Califia make great foam and latte art, but they are not ideal as your all-day hydration. If you love them, keep them to 1 or 2 coffees a day, and do not drink big glasses of them thinking they are health tonics. If your goal is gut health, low inflammation, or reducing processed fats and sugars, save these for cafe occasions and use a cleaner, higher almond milk at home. Step 4. Learn the 5-second almond milk label test. Next time you are in Coles, Woolworths, or an independent supermarket, flip any almond milk and check. Almond percentage under 3% usually means it is mostly water and likely heavy on additives. Sugar per 100 milliliters, above about 3 to 4 grams per 100 milliliters, means this is a sweet drink, not just neutral milk. Added oils, canola or sunflower oils mean you are basically drinking a light nut and seed oil emulsion. Gum count. One gum in a barista milk might be acceptable. 4 gums plus carrageenan in a supposed health carton should make you think twice. If a carton fails 2 or more of these quick checks, it does not belong in a trolley that is trying to protect your health. Step 5. Consider making your own once a week. A basic homemade almond milk recipe is literally soak almonds, blend with water, strain. Most homemade versions use around 10 to 20% almonds, 4 to 8 times more nuts than the 2 to 2.5% supermarket standards. Yes, it is a bit of effort. No, you do not have to do it every time. But even making 1 batch a week for coffees or smoothies will remind you what real almond flavor actually is, make supermarket almond-flavored water much easier to spot, and give you a baseline to compare everything else against. Final message and call to action. Almond milk can be a clean, simple, beautiful product. Water, almonds, maybe a pinch of salt. But the 8 brands we have just walked through show how the Australian market turned that idea into something else. Tiny amounts of nuts, plenty of sugar and starch, seed oils and gums to engineer texture, vitamin fortification and plant-based buzzwords to distract you. Our food culture drifted from eating handfuls of actual almonds to paying a premium for almond-branded drinks that are, in many cases, nutritionally toxic for the exact goals we think we are pursuing, such as weight control, gut health, and low-inflammation living. You do not have to throw out every carton in your fridge tonight. Just pick one of the 8 brands from this video that you buy the most and replace it with a higher almond, lower additive option for the next month. Watch what happens to your coffee, to your shopping bill, and to how you feel about what you are actually pouring into your glass. If this video helped you see almond milk labels with new eyes, tap like so. More Australians stop getting scammed by almond-flavoured water. If you want more breakdowns that protect your plate, your health and your family from ultra-processed health foods, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. That is how we keep making videos the food industry would rather you did not see. Now tell me in the comments, which almond milk brand shocked you the most today? The ones with sugar, the ones with oils, or the ones that quietly admitted they only have about 2% almonds? And be honest, which carton are you ditching first?